Welcome back. I'm Ryan with stickdulcimer.com. Today we're going to cover a Christmas tune. It's a wonderful one. I hope you all love it as much as I do. O Come Emmanuel. Now, there's a couple things about this one that are good to know first off the bat. Before we get going, I have a few things you should know about. There's a free cheat sheet for chords over on the website, as well as a key change guide, which may be helpful when you're trying to do these Christmas songs with other people. And then there's also a complete chord guide that's paid, but it really helps support what I'm doing here. So those are all over on the website, good to know, as well as the download that I'm going to talk about today, which is this one right here for O Come, because this one's different in that there's lyrics here. I'm not going to get sued because I've got lyrics in it. So I'm going to walk you through how to use that particular type of guide, as well as show you some of the chords. Now, before we get too far along, I do want you to know this channel is super important. If you subscribe, it really helps me a lot. And also over on Facebook or Instagram, Facebook being where a lot of people are these days for these types of instruments, I've got groups, I've got profiles. You can come, do that kind of thing over there and do the likes and whatnot. That'd be helpful. So anyway, let's go first and foremost to the one finger version of how to play these chords, and then I'll touch on that briefly. Then we'll go to the multi-finger version. I'll just show you a couple of the options that are in this guide, but I mostly want to get to the third thing, which is how to read the chord sheet, because I'm realizing nowadays that a lot of people who are getting into these instruments may not know how to do that. And for this particular song, it's great because this time of year you can play this along with a pianist or a guitarist or whatever you want, by giving them the same sheet so that they can look at it and they can know to play the chords that you're playing, okay? So let's jump into the one finger version first. So the one finger version, I've got all the chords up here. There's only 5 of them. The first thing to know is that if you're reading the regular chord chart where it says E minor or B minor or anything like that, you can just go ahead and substitute that for whichever of these chord names for the single finger version are. So if you're seeing where it says B minor, you could actually just play at the 5th fret, and that will suffice because that's where the B is located on this instrument. D is open, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and for this song that's all you need. You actually don't even need the G. So that's how you can correspond the single finger notes, single finger chords to the regular chords. So if it's an A chord, you could just play at the 4th fret. If it's an F sharp chord, you play at the 2nd fret. D, D-A-D, you just play open, okay? So then it would be O come Emmanuel. See? O come Emmanuel. Right? Now I'm going to let you go take care of that with the chord chart here. Skip ahead to the end if you want to know how to do the chord chart part of it, the lyric and chord sheet. So you can just, again, follow those chord symbols, whatever the name of the chord is, just the fret that it corresponds to. Use the sheet. It'll make more sense then, I'm pretty sure. Or put a comment below and tell me where I'm kind of fumbling this one. Okay, multi-finger chords. Again, there's options on this download that you can grab, but here's the ones that I like to use the most. And I'm going to first talk about E minor, which is your 2 minor chord in this key, and F sharp minor, which is your 3 minor chord. Now, I'm pointing these out because the way I'm doing it is I'm barring across all of the strings and then using my pinky here. But you'll see that it's the exact same shape. And then I'm going to show you A is like this. Boom, boom down here, and then index finger back here. So actually, if I moved my middle finger, it would look like that. All right, so, and I point that out because the difference between here and here is just, really it's just this one note, because if you could hold this all down, see how it's just one note's difference? And that's really great when you're getting from chord to chord. It would be something like, O come Emmanuel. I'm playing the D chord here, so like that. Again, this is on the chord guide. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these and all of the parts of the song. I want you to go through and look at it for yourself. Just know this, that the way that it's measured out is a full bar of the first chord, and then a split bar of the second and third chords in the line, and then a full bar for the fourth chord. So if you're playing that whole first line, it would be, O come, Emmanuel. And you can go to the B minor here, you can also go to the D. Just kind of depends on the tonality you want for that particular line. But from a counting perspective, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. You could also count it 1, 2, 1, 2, so it could be 1, 2. You could do it like that. It's immaterial how you count that unless you're counting it with someone else, but just know that when you're looking at the lyric sheet, sometimes it can be a little confusing. I've tried to line up the chords where they belong on the lyrics, but if you're in doubt, the chords always change on the downbeat, and they're evenly spaced of 4 beats or 2 beats and 2 beats. Maybe that was helpful. The other thing that I've added to this chord sheet this time around that I want you to call out is at the very end of it, there's a verse that I did where I delete the third chord of these progressions because it turns out you don't really need it. So for example, you do, O come Emmanuel. So I deleted that F sharp minor because even though it really adds a certain flavor to the thing, it's unnecessary if it's causing you to stumble, so to speak. So you got, O come Emmanuel. Or you can just get rid of that F sharp minor. O come Emmanuel. The melody covers the fact that you don't have a chord there. So that slims it down a little bit, allows you to even change up the way that you're arranging it or change up the way that you kind of level up your difficulty on it. So back to the idea of counting this, because knowing how to count it will help you land where the chord should be, despite the way that the chord lyric sheet will look. We'll look at that in a second. So this is helpful, kind of have a place to practice from, and then also to rely on should you have questions about the chart itself. And so we've got a song that could be counted in 4 and 2. It's immaterial unless you're playing with someone else to know where that is. You can feel it, you can count it, whatever. If I was counting it, it kind of feels like it's in 2/4 just because, oh, come and 2 and dun 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 dun. So it'd be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So if you counted it in 4, you'd just be counting it twice as fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? The important thing to know is just that everything changes on the downbeat, and it's either a full 4 beats or 2 beats, depending on how you count it, or a full beat or 2 beats, depending on how you count it. So it would be always changing. It's a split measure when it's those two in fast sequence together. So it would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so then thinking about that, if you look over at the chord sheet, so let's talk about the chord sheet for a minute. The sun's getting bright on my white paper. Notice that it says O come, and the B minor is right there. O come me, man. Now the A, F sharp minor, and B minor all happen over top of the word Emmanuel. Emmanuel, right? Those are the changes. You can't cram all those chords in there very easily, so you're going to have to know that that's how it works and then feel it. Hopefully you've heard this song a fair number of times that you'd be able to feel kind of where those chords land. So these are approximations of where they would be, where the chords would land. They help you keep track of which chords you're supposed to be playing against this and hopefully be able to read it while you're playing. Singing and playing at the same time is definitely its own extra skill. If you're not there yet, that's fine. You can practice towards it. This sheet's also very helpful because you can print this off and give it to a piano player or a guitar player. They should know exactly what to do with it, and you guys can play along, which is part of the fun of this. Okay, that's how you handle those things. Again, if you've made it this far, subscribe to the channel. That'd be great. Or head over to the website. Don't forget to get these both free and paid downloads. That'd be a big help to me. If you're there and you need new strings for your Seagull Merlin or accessories, that kind of thing, they're over there. And I do give private lessons on the site. So feel free to jump over there. Once again, I'm Ryan with stickdulcimer.com, and thanks so much.